Welcome to the First Tech Challenge 2022-2023 season game. POWERPLAY, presented by Raytheon Technologies. A team consists of up to 2 driver operators, a human player, a coach, and a robot. Each match is played with 4 randomly selected teams, 2 per alliance. But each alliance is only allowed 1 human player. Your opponent for one match may be your partner for another. Robots must be built from materials specified in the game manual and fit within an 18-inch sizing tool, but may expand after the match begins. The game element is a 4-inch diameter by 5-inch tall plastic cone. There are 60 cones, 30 red and 30 blue. Teams may also use their custom-designed beacons in gameplay. The game is played on a 12-foot square playing field with a foam tile floor and 1-foot-high walls. Various sized junctions are placed across the field, including 9 ground junctions. In addition, there are 8 low, 4 medium, and 4 high junctions. These junctions are mounted on flexible springs and might not be perfectly vertical. Taped-off substations are centered on both sides. In each corner are taped-off terminals. In the front and back of the field are taped stripes to help robots find cone stacks. There are 4 signals placed on the field. 4 unique navigation images are positioned on the field walls. And outside of the field are the red and blue alliance stations. Before each match, cones are stacked in the substation storage areas and inside the playing fields. Custom beacons are also placed in the substation storage areas. Teams place their robots on the field, touching the wall between the substations and terminals. Each team may preload 1 cone into their robot. The 3-sided signal is then randomized. Each image references a specific parking target during match play. If a team designs their own signal sleeve, it can be used to gain additional points. The field and players are now ready. The match begins with a 30-second autonomous period. During this period, there are a number of ways for teams to score, using only pre-programmed instructions and sensor inputs. Each cone secured on a junction earns points. 2 points for the ground junction, 3 points for the low junction, 4 points for the medium junction, and 5 points for the high junction. A robot parked in their alliance substation or terminal earns 2 points. If a robot's sensors correctly read the randomized signal, it can park in the corresponding signal zone to earn 10 points. However, parking in the proper signal zone shown by a custom signal sleeve will earn 20 points. Following the autonomous period is the 2-minute driver-controlled period. During this period, human players may introduce new cones into the substations. Each cone that is placed in its matching color terminal earns 1 point. Securing cones in junctions earns the same points as during the autonomous period. 2 points for the ground junction, 3 points for the low, 4 points for medium, and 5 points for the high junction. The last 30 seconds of the driver-controlled period is the end game. Robots may continue scoring cones, but there are also ways to earn bonus points. Alliances earn points for owning a junction. This can be accomplished in 2 ways. An alliance owns the junction if their colored cone is scored on top. This earns an additional 3 points. The junction can also be owned by capping it with a beacon. This earns 10 additional points and prevents the opposing alliance from recapturing that junction. An alliance earns 20 points by completing a circuit. This is done by owning a continuous path of junctions from one terminal to the other. And if a robot is parked in either of their alliance terminals, it earns 2 points. All cones scored during the autonomous period count again if they remain in place at the end of the match. There are many ways to score in POWERPLAY, but there are also rules that, if not followed, will deduct points from your alliance. For example, robots may not de-score opposing alliance cones or beacons. A robot may not block or interfere with an opposing alliance attempting to score. A robot must be completely outside of a substation in order to score a cone or a beacon. Robots may control or possess only one cone and one beacon at a time. Scoring elements may not be launched, and robots may not deliberately remove game elements from the playing field. This has been a brief summary of this season's game, POWERPLAY, presented by Raytheon Technologies. For complete rules, please read both game manuals and check the Q&A forum. And always remember the most important rule in First Tech Challenge: gracious professionalism. Good luck, teams, and have a great season!
Wow, what a game we have this season. Here to give us a closer look at the field is Aaron Fadden, Game Design Committee team member and First Tech Challenge project manager.
Hi teams, I'm Aaron Fadden, member of the First Tech Challenge Game Design Committee. I hope you're excited about this year's POWERPLAY game presented by Raytheon Technologies. I want to give a huge shout out to the Game Design Committee for all the hard work they put in year-round to design each game. Let's take a quick walkthrough of the actual field, plus talk about some of the exciting components of this year's game. First, let's talk about the junctions. As mentioned in the animation, there are 4 different types of junctions: the ground, low, medium, and high. The low, medium, and high junctions have different ranges of movement based on the height. The range of motion decreases as cones are added to these junctions. Next up, we have the cones. Here's what they look like on the field during pre-match setup. To be considered scored, a cone must be secured to a junction. Secured means that either the 4-inch diameter base of the cone is completely in the recess of the floor junction, or when the pole of the low, medium, or high junction passes through the 1.25-inch diameter of the cone with a large opening facing toward the playing field floor. A cone is secured when it is scored onto another secured cone. Cones can be in any orientation to score in a terminal. Descoring, whether intentional or not, may have severe impact on an alliance's ability to complete a circuit. Therefore, accuracy in driving is an important component in this game. There are rules outlined in the game manual that cover penalties for descoring. Teams should be especially careful of descoring cones from the ground junctions. Returning this year is the team scoring element called the beacon, which is used to cap a junction in the endgame period to convey ownership of a junction. Make sure to look at the team scoring element rules that are outlined in the game manual part 1 when constructing the beacon. Teams will need to have both a red and a blue beacon to fully play the game. And more importantly, the beacon cannot resemble a game element. That means items such as cups will not be allowed as a legal beacon. Teams are also encouraged to use TensorFlow technology in the autonomous period. The signal used in autonomous is a tournament-provided element that has 3 images that will be randomized. Teams earn points for navigating to the correct location based on the randomized image. Teams can gain more points if they create their own signal sleeve to place over the signal during pre-match setup and successfully navigate to the correct signal location during the autonomous. A template must be used to create the signal sleeve with images and the team number printed on the sleeve prior to routing at the competition. The signal zone locations where the robots navigate to in the autonomous are not defined by a tape boundary. Therefore, there is no tape to assist in navigation or identifying inside and outside of these zones. POWERPLAY is a game of strategy, and teams should be prepared to work with their alliance partner to outline the best plan of action to score and ideally create their completed circuit. You should expect that the opposing alliance can and will score cones on top of your cones, which may break an already completed circuit. Teams also need to quickly strategize where to place their beacon during the endgame to convey ownership of a junction. This way, your alliance now owns that junction, and the opposing alliance cannot reclaim it from you. Remember, you only have 2 beacons total per match. I hope you enjoyed this overview of the POWERPLAY game field in action. Good luck this season, teams.
Thanks so much, Aaron. The field looks full of exciting and fun new challenges. We can't wait to see what the upcoming season has in store.
This season is definitely going to generate a bunch of excitement. We can't wait to see your creative solutions and robots in action on the field. And if you're watching but haven't registered yet, there's still time to power up and join us. Visit our website for details and to get started. Be sure to tag First Tech Challenge on your team's social media throughout the season so we can keep in touch and see how your team is tackling the game. Thanks for joining us to kick off the season and being part of the FIRST community. For all of us here at First Tech Challenge, good luck. Have a great year, and I hope to see you out there in person soon. The power is in your hands.